Hello, my lovely audience. So this is your lovely man that's been out for a long time. Sorry that I've been not able to do any videos because of well, I was in the middle. I was out of commission. Let's just put it that way. As a hiatus, really. Anyways, I'm back now, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's get to the video. So I'm gonna be speeding it up because this is take two, and I've been getting kind of pissed off because a lot of people have been disturbing this. Anyways, let's get to it. So, Deku's going to be having his mother's quirk. He's also going to be spending a little bit more time with his father when he was a young kid, and he had fun with the kites, a lot of kites when he was a kid, and also he would actually be having a catchphrase now, which is hell yeah, because I need to give him that catchphrase. It's an awesome catchphrase. Anyways, so every time he gets like something like he does really good on something, he says hell yeah, and that always gets him in trouble. I would say Bakugo that still bullies him, but over like kind of like teases him and just like messes with him over having a weak quirk. But they kind of train it out, and he gets kind of good with it. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna speed this up a bit. I would say like everything happens in the same, but he trains his quirk a lot and makes a kite prototype to kind of like fly because he saw a hero with. Saw a Grand Torino. I can't remember that's his name, the hero's name, or if that's you know what I mean, like, or just the movie Gran Torino. But anyways, so let's get to the fun parts. So Deku, he is going to be learning how to use this, and I'd say a lot of people like really think he's got like he's been like studying wind. He's been trying to figure it out, but he only goes like 5 feet in the air when he's like 10, I think, and. Yeah, so he's really he's really good at what he's doing. I had to do a lot of research for this. I've been having the idea in my head for like 3 months. Anyways, really hope no one interrupts this one. Anyways, yeah, this is actually take 3, I think. Yeah, it's take 3. Anyways, let's do this. Anyway, so everything happens the same in the anime, but he's just like practicing and trying to fly and all that. And I would say when he's 15, sludge run still thing happens. He gets not everybody like no one really teases him over like going to UA because they think he could become a great hero and be really good at saving people with his type of quirk because he can pull things and it's a lot stronger because he's been training it a lot. And I would say that when he gets, when he meets Ledron, same thing happens, and, well, instead of, asking All Might if he can be a, well, he does the same thing with All Might where he clutches onto his leg and all that, and the ball falls out, I think. Yeah, it does fall out, so, yeah, it puts my other, parts to the shame. So anyways, I would say that, Deku kind of, let's see here. He kind of asks if he can have be a hero with a weak quirk that he has right now, and he kind of just pulls a can that's nearby to his hand, and kind of just catches it. And All Might kind of sees this and says, "Well, you could become a really great hero when it comes down to saving people or fooling a villain's plan, and really help a lot of people." And yeah, I would say that All Might really gives him this like idea that he could become a good hero, just not number 1. Which is kind of a letdown, but it's not the worst letdown. Now, I would say that Deku, when the explosion happens, they go over to see it, and it's Bakugo. Bakugo is in trouble, obviously, and I'd say that Deku, when they go over to the to where it is, he rushes in and saves Bakugo, using all of his might and pulling Bakugo out of the sludge zone and saving his life. And what ends up happening there is this. Bakugo, the sludge one is then punched by All Might, like in the anime, but Bakugo has been saved completely by Deku, who went kind of plus ultra, and only for a split second. And after that, he kind of passed out. The heroes kind of praise him a bit, but still say that's reckless and that he should only wait. He should wait until he's a hero to do that. So these guys are like pro heroes too. So. They're basically just praising Deku, and they kind of want to like ask if he wants to become like a sidekick for any of their agencies or just do an internship when he gets into UA, because they know about the internships. And when he then gets stopped on the way home by All Might to become like his successor and all that shit. And I'd say for the 6 months of training, he does it early, like 3 months early. He gets all the trash out, and then it's just practicing his quirk and training it. Doing one for all at least, practicing and doing all that. And I'd say he was able to. He gets goggles and a mask, and he also grabs that kite that he made and he's been working on, and kind of creates a kind of does it again. And this time he's like up at 60 or 50 feet in the air, and All Might's impressed by like his adaptability and kind of like how he's using his quirk to fly and all that, and it's really impressive. He's kind of just pulling the air molecules towards him. That's all he's doing. And he's focusing on those air molecules. And that's how he's been training his quirk. And I'm gonna say that Deku is he practices full cowling, but also studies very, very, very hard. And yeah, I would say that All Might's kind of impressed that he was able to get a lot stronger, and in full cowling he can use 25% of One for All, so that's fun. He can go up to 25%. And I'm going to say that All Might's just really impressed by him. Like, he sees that he has chosen a very, very good successor for One for All. And yeah, he's just really happy. He's happy about his choice of One for All. And yeah. Now for the fun part. Deku immediately is going to, he's going to go to UA. He's not going to get a recommendation. And on the written exam, I would say he gets first place. And he does not trip, so there's that. So he doesn't meet Araka, by tripping. So when he gets into the practical exam, he pretty much brought his kite, and they allowed it because they don't know what he's going to be doing with it. And he explained he was going to use it with his first quirk, but they don't really know how that's going to work. So they kind of just let him have it. And I'm going to say that when Deku uses his quirk to propel himself forward and kind of just fly, they're just impressed. Like, all of the heroes that are watching and all the teachers and everything are just watching. They're just impressed. They're like, wow, now that's something. And they didn't really think that he would be like doing something like that. They didn't think he would be using it like that. They didn't think he would just be like flying around. They thought he would be putting it on someone else and just like launching them up or something, just being like a support. But he's kind of using it as reconnaissance, and I would say that he gets a lot of points for being high up in the air and using it as reconnaissance. And I would say that he looks kind of like this for the whole exam, except without the hoodie and hat and just goggles and a mask. And I'm going to say that he sees Araka, who's trapped and trapped in near the 0 point robot that's going to basically crush her. So he drops down and kind of saves her using his quirk and his strength, and immediately pulls her, has her grab onto him, and pulls the wind towards him, and goes backwards. And immediately, before he could, the robot could hit them, they're out, like just inches away, and they're sent back, and he saved her. And he got around 520 points because of the reconnaissance and how high he went up, and just how much creativity he got with that, and also for the rescue points. And they're just like really impressed by what he did. And Nezu's just wondering, just amazed by what kind of hero he's going to make and how he could become the next symbol of peace. So, let's get to the fun part. So, when Deku arrives at UA, he's obviously going to get the acceptance letter, and he's going to scream, "Hell yeah!" And when he gets into UA, he's going to be thanked a lot by Araka, and he's also going to be one happy man because of how he got into UA. And I'm going to say Momo's just wanting to know how he was able to make such an amazing such an amazing, kite, really. Like, such a interesting, like, product almost. Like, just wondering how to make one. Oh, and Deku also gave the R&D team drawings of, basically this is what his hero suit's going to be, and it's got a collapsible kite, and he's going to be using that. And it all might help him make it, like, the whole suit and draw it out a bit. And yeah, it's not going to be like a fanboy hero suit, but it's going to look like that, and it's going to be perfect. And it's got more grip in the boots, and it's also got the collapsible kite, which is awesome. And I'm going to say that when Deku does the physical exam that Aizawa has, oh, and besides Araka thanking him, I would say Bakugo is kind of just glad to see him in Class 1A, because he was kind of mad that he didn't get first place, but was impressed that Deku was able to actually go so high this time, that he's actually worked on his quirk, and that they could probably team up sometime when they're heroes, and be probably a great tag team. And that Bakugo could be the bomb, and he could be the kind of like a plane almost. So it's kind of a little funny joke that they kind of did as kids, but now they can actually use this if they ever become heroes. And they kind of have a really nice smile on when they look at each other. When he brings up the joke again. And I think the rest of the class would be kind of like understanding that they're going to be a really good tag team together. So I'm going to say that on the physical exam that Deku, he's able to stay in the middle. Like, he's able to stay in, like, I would say third place. Yeah, third place for everything, because he's using his quirk so hard, and he used it on the race, and he got third place. And I would say Aizawa was just impressed with the creativity of using that quirk. And on the long jump, he uses it to just push himself forward and gets, like, I would say first place on the long jump, because he's using wind at the same time. And I think Aizawa is just really impressed on how Deku's able to use his quirk, and he's only using his quirk. He's not using vocaling. He's using his quirk, and I would say that seeing how it's upgraded because one for all, and he got it, it's awesome. It's amazing, really. And I'm gonna say that the person that gets kicked out is the purple dude with the hair that pops or whatever, the balls or whatever that he throws. He's going to be kicked out because I don't like him. The pervert is going to go. The perv is gone. Anyways, so let us get into the fun parts. And I'm going to say that Deku is going to definitely be, when he gets his hero suit, I would say that, I'd say he gets praised by Aizawa. Like, Aizawa praises him a bit, saying that he did, knows how to use his quirk probably the best out of everyone, because he's using it in a way that not a lot of other people would use it. And probably other people would use it for, like, grabbing things or stuff like that, but he's using it for propulsion. And he tells him that if you want to use your quirk to the fullest, I suggest mixing it up. Because when it comes down to combat, you're going to need a way of fighting that's going to be suiting to your needs. And you got to get close to some people, and it's not always going to be easy to get close to someone. And limiting people's movement is probably the best way of using your quirk. Mind you, he can only pull things, so it's going to be very hard for him to do anything else. But yeah, he kind of understands what Aizawa is on about, I guess. And I'm going to say that the next day, I would say that by the way, the acceptance letter was also Nezu praising him and All Might praising him, so that's awesome. And I would say on the heroes versus villains exam, Deku, when he gets his hero suit, he's really hyped. And then people are looking at his hero suit and they're wondering where the kite is. And he pulls on the strings, and it kind of shows that it's a collapsible kite, and pulls on him again, and there it is, collapsible kite. I don't really know how this thing works, really, the strings. I don't really know how they would work, so I'm going to say it's a button, really. And it's a button, let's say that, like Ant-Man with the shrink, but you know what I mean. Anyways, Yeah, so they're probably gonna be really impressed by how his whole kite suit works, and they're kind of just giving him the nickname Kite Man. So he kind of likes it, and he's like, Kite Man, hell yeah. And yeah, I think they're laughing at that a bit, and they're just finding it really funny and really awesome that he's got such an amazing setup, really. And I'm gonna say that Deku. I'm gonna say that he's got a when he opens up the kite, there's going to be a like a ladder he can have drop out behind him that he also added to the suit, where it's like it can come out and it can go back in. It's like the back part of a kite where it has that like the tail, really. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be like that, but it's gonna be a ladder, and it's gonna be used to help people climb up. And yeah, so when Deku, he's gonna be with. I would say that he'd be with Bakugo instead of Araka, and Araka would be with Ida, because I think they would be wanting to team up, and I think Aizawa would let it and All Might would let it because they want to see how this combo would work, and I think they really want to see what they have in store. And I'd say Bakugo grabs onto the ladder, and Deku kind of propels himself upwards, like he pulls the air molecules upwards, while like having the kite kind of like flat, almost like a shield that's going upwards, really. You know what I mean? Anyways, like, and then kind of just goes upwards and flies a bit up and a little bit back, and he angles it properly, and they see the floor that they need to go into. And I would say that he kind of propels himself a bit forward, and immediately they go flying into the window and breaking the glass. I think there was a window. If not, they blow open the hole through with Bakugo, and immediately Deku kind of like has the ladder retract and kind of just glides there. And I would say that Bakugo blows up and provides like a covering smoke, almost just smokes them up and kind of like smokes them out. And immediately I would say that Deku flies in and touches the bomb, and yeah, I would say that would be it, because Bakugo has like distracted everyone. They're completely smoked because the explosions would create like a bit of smoke that would completely blind almost everyone, and they would just touch the bomb, and yeah, they'd be done. And I would say All Might would be ending it there, and I think that would be like the fastest it's ever ended. And I think that they would be really, really happy about this. I think that they would be, like, the teachers would be amazed by this and would give them the top score, because they not only did it fast, but they got creative with this. And I think Bakugo and Deku are going to definitely be working as a team, more like friends, really, than frenemies, almost. What is it? They're gonna be more like partners, really, than than what is it? Someone to I'm trying to remember what it's called. Fuck. But you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. Instead of a rivalry, that's what it is. And yeah, so instead of a rivalry, it's going to be a partnership, because they can work together better as a team than they can, than as rivals. And I'm going to say that when it's after this is the all-terrain place or whatever, AUA, I don't fucking remember. You guys know what I mean, though. The place with the Zero girl or whatever, with the astronaut suit girl. Anyways, when they're going there, I'm gonna say that Deku, wearing his hero suit, he's really just ready to see what's gonna happen, and he's just dying to like see the hero there. And I'd say Bakugo is just like calming him down almost, but at the same time is just like kind of like wanting to go over some some ideas that he has with Deku on on what they could do as a team. And they kind of bring up the idea of like him being dropped down as a bomb a lot and kind of just blowing up. And Deku kind of brings up the idea of him as like maybe a gunner almost, like he's the plane and Bakugo's the gunner, and they kind of just like coming up with all these ideas and stuff, and working out a plan on how they could always fight villains and save people and do all kinds of things. But mostly though, the foundation is Deku mainly helping him out with it, like Bakugo is the bomb that drops down and destroys everything while Deku saves everything. And I'd say Deku would still have the name Deku, but it would also be pretty good of a name because I think Bakugo would be the one saying it's as like a nickname that's like an uplifting kind of thing. So yeah, and when Deku gets what is it? What was it? What was it? When Deku is what is it? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, they came up with a lot of plans. Anyways, let's get to the USJ. The USJ, that's what it was. I think it was. USJ? Maybe. I don't know. Let's get to it. So, when they get there, they, same thing happens. The villains come out, and Deku is getting transported to the yacht, and with, Froppy. And I'm gonna say that Deku kind of has her grab onto the ladder, and he propels himself upwards. And the villains down there are just like, are you kidding me? He can fly. This is not cool. And I'm gonna say that Deku using 15%, claps his hands and smacks it and creates like pretty much like what the Hulk does, and hits the water, and it kind of creates a wave splashing them left and right, and kind of like knocks them out almost because of how much force was in it. And yeah, I'd say that they get like kind of knocked out by this. And they kind of, Deku and Froppy kind of go upwards a bit, and they get propelled upward. And I would say that Froppy's kind of like amazed by this, like this is an amazing kind of quirk, and they kind of could make a great team. Like she's realizing that they can make a great way of, that they could do a great way of propelling themselves and being like in the air. And they kind of work out, like she's thinking of all these strategies on how they could work together. And they can also be like a great team with Bakugo as well. And they're like, he kind of like thinks that it would be a great team, that two of them working together, and even three of them working together. And they could save a lot of people. They could probably be the symbols of peace and really be like this amazing team. And I'm gonna say that oh, and I think I said Gran Torino had wings, but yeah, no, he didn't. So he was using propulsion just with his legs. So yeah, I would say that he saw a bit of how it worked and kind of went with that. But yeah, you know what I mean. Anyways, sorry guys for about that one earlier. Anyways, so with the Nomu and all that, I would say that Deku goes over to where Bakugo is and helps him out and gets the villains, off him, and kind of gets Bakugo out of there with Froppy's help. And I would say Bakugo kind of like immediately with Deku, like they kind of like come up with a plan on how this could work as a team together. And the two of them are, the three of them are all like, kind of like, Bakugo's like not like fully with it almost, but it's kind of growing on him. And it's like he's kind of getting more positive about this, and it's like more of a perfect team. And I'm gonna say that Deku, he's kind of really happy about this. Like he's really happy to see how this is gonna work. And I'm gonna say that let's see here. I'm gonna say that what is it? When they get over to like the Nomus and villains and where Aizawa's, fighting them all. I'd say when they get over there, they see the Nomu and just like ordered by Shigaraki to take them out. And the water villains, kind of like some of them that are getting up are going over towards Aizawa. And I'd say that Bakugo starts dropping down explosions on them, kind of upside down, blowing them up, while Deku kind of like provides propulsion, and not Momo, Froppy is creating kind of just like kind of using her tongue to kind of like grab people, lift them up, and then drop them. And they're just getting dropped out, and Deku's just flying around, angling, getting all the explosions right where they need to be, and providing air support. And I think Aizawa's like just watching this as well as taking them out, and it's like they're working as such a perfect team. They could rival a lot of the other heroes, and they're doing something that heroes normally don't do, like a full-on team up. And they're working together with such like a force that it's almost rivaling All Might in a sense, because they're taking out so many villains single-handedly, and they don't really need help, and they're doing such an amazing job at it. And I'm gonna say that Deku, he's like kind of like hating the fact that he doesn't have anything he can do for the team. So he's thinking in the back of his mind, how can he provide cover? How can he help? And he's kind of got an idea with his hero suit. And you'll see what happens. I'll explain what happens around maybe the festival. So yeah, around the sports festival, and I'm gonna say that Bakugo, they're just exploding everything, and it's just working out perfectly. And I'll say that Deku's kind of just flying around, and right when All Might comes in, I would say that the Nomu's like kind of going towards like the Nomu when he tries to attack Aizawa. I would say that the Nomu gets blown up by Bakugo and gets hit pretty hard and gets launched off its like loses balance, and Aizawa kind of kicks it in the brain, knocking it pretty much out for right now, but it gets back up shortly after. And these villains are just getting hammered, so all of them have to regroup again. And I would say that Hirogiri is getting has a little fight with Todoroki, so it's gonna be hard for him, and it's just fires. I wouldn't say fire, but ice is just getting everywhere because Sports Festival hasn't happened yet. And yeah, it's getting really good. It's getting really good. And yeah, so say a lot of things have changed with this What If compared to the original universe. I love it though. I really do love it. And Deku, he's just out doing so much for everyone. And yeah, I think a lot of people are just like, everybody that like has gotten done with their villains are just, or well, that have seen their villains run away, they see why, and they're just wondering how in the world could they help. So I think that Momo would be saying, hey, can I get on? And I'd say that when she gets on, she immediately starts creating grenades and starts dropping them down like more bombs, while Bakugo takes a break from exploding. And all the grenades drop down, and they're all blowing up, and they're dropping, and it's like knocking them out like smoke grenades almost. And Aizawa is using the smoke as cover to like take down other villains and really do some heavy work. And when All Might finally comes in, most of the work's already done. It's just the Nomu is left. And like there's a handful of villains. And they start beating down on them. And I would say that it gets really, really good. So yeah, I'd say that what was it? The I would say that Nomu gets hammered pretty hard with the first punch, and with the explosions, and I'd say Deku would come in with Bakugo, and Bakugo would kind of come in with like one gigantic explosion, propelling them all back and like throwing everyone on the kite off except Bakugo, and it would pretty much explode the Nomu back at All Might. And I would think Deku would kind of like show off another quirk, like his other quirk, and I would think that Bakugo would be kind of surprised by this because he knows he only had one quirk. He didn't know he had another one, and I would think that Deku would quickly explain after. I would say that he kicked it because his arms would be busy controlling the kite, so he would kick the Nomu with a full hit, like a full 100% kick in his leg, and completely breaks his leg, but he's got another one. And I'm gonna say that when he kicks the Nomu, it completely destroys its back, and then All Might punches it into the roof and just destroys all of it. And it does he does a really good combo with the Nomu. I mean with All Might, and yeah. So I would say it's a really badass fight that they had, and I think Deku would explain that he has another quirk that he found out after 3 months, and it was after he worked out, and he doesn't really know how it works, but apparently it's a genetic mutation that just can happen, a random anomaly. And I think Bakugo would be kind of impressed, but at the same time sees that it breaks his leg, and he kind of understands that it was like a one-time use kind of thing. So he's kind of like trying to help him out. And he collapses the kite, and they kind of just retreat. And I would say Nomu kind of helps with that. Or not Nomu, but Momo. Sorry. Momo helps with that, and yeah, Nomo. Nomo. Look at that, Nomo. Oh my god. Momo helps with that, and Froppy as well. And I'm going to say that, the fight just ends pretty much once the Nomu's cringed down quicker than it should have been. And that's when I say the other heroes arrive, and they try to shoot at the other villains, and Hirogiri and Shigaraki kind of just get out of there. And they've just been ultimately defeated by Deku, the big old group that they have of students, and also All Might. And I'm gonna say that everyone's like kind of surprised by Deku's hero suit and how it works and how he's able to use the gear with him. And I would say for the sports festival, like after getting healed up, All Might congratulates him after powering down a bit. He congratulates him in like a after like like a private room with because I would say All Might would get stabbed by the Nomu, but wouldn't be that bad, or at least like gets hit pretty hard. And I'm gonna say that the whole fight was completely different, but at the same time it was really, really, really quick and very, very powerful. And I'm gonna say that let's see. I'm gonna say that All Might he is running on fumes, but it was quicker than it should have been. Let's see. I'd say that he gets congratulated by All Might and on the quick thinking, and also with the team up, and he thinks that a lot of them are going to be like how it's all going to work is going to be really impressive. And yeah, he thinks that Deku's going to be great during the sports festival if they're allowing him to have his kite, which they will. They are going to let him have his backpack collapsible kite thing, which he's kind of got a prototype going on with it. And I would say that he, after recovering, he's going to be going over a new like kind of hero suit, like a new version with gauntlets that are going to help him do something cool as hell. And I would say he goes to the R&D team and starts making gauntlets that can shoot out kites, really, like like these square looking things that, well, triangle things that actually are kites, like collapsible kites, and can like he can use with his quirk to push people around and stuff like that and make them go flying. And I'm gonna say that it's kind of like that he can like shoot them out from his gauntlets, like a gun at this point, and he kind of just hits a button and it would activate. And he's been working on that with that girl there, so they kind of work on things and they kind of, they just get it done, And I'm gonna say that when let's see, I'm just laying down in bed now. um, I would say that when Deku, I think he would bring this up with Bakugo and the people that he teamed up with, and Momo, I think, would be kind of like intrigued by this and kind of would have an idea on how to like manufacture the ammunition. So if they ever do team up, they would have a way to like, have more ammunition for his gauntlet. So that's awesome. And it's kind of like a single shot thing. It's almost like it's basically like a pressurized cannon on his arm. And yeah, so he can only fire 2 from his fire 1 from each gauntlet. So that's like 2 from, that's fun. Yeah, I'm gonna say that he doesn't have that. I'd say he just puts it on people's backs or whatever, like he can throw it or whatever, and he has it on his belt. And does he have a belt? Yeah, he has a belt. So, you know what? I'll say it's on his backpack, or yeah, it's on his belt. I'm gonna say he has a belt, and he has it on a belt. So yeah. Now when let's think. I would say that they would let him have the backpack from his hero suit, so that would be like the collapsible kite, but that's it. And then I would say that I'd say that when Deku gets in, he is well, I would say when for the whole like training and stuff, everybody's like coming up with how they can like work together with Deku in the future and come up with all kinds of crazy things. And I'm gonna say that, I would say it still has a button though to push to activate the things that are on his belt, like a like little iPad touchpad thing, whatever. You know what I mean? Anyways, so Deku's gonna be pretty overpowered with this, and I like it. I really like it. For the sports festival, though, because this is gonna be the last part until internships, which I'm going to be doing so much on and all that. Anyways, so sports festival. For the race, I'm gonna say it's easy for him because he's just flying past everything, and I would say that I would say that person that does the speech is Deku, and he says, "May the best person win," or it's all about I'm gonna say that Bakugo does it, and he says, "I will win." He says that him and Deku are gonna win. Him and Zuko Midoriya are gonna be the winners of this, and that they will become the champions. And yeah. So I would say you would say either Midoriya or he would win. And he would kind of just explain that, I would say that, I don't know, let's see. Bakugo's going easy on Deku, so I would say that he says that, may the strongest win. Really, that would be it. Yeah, that's more like Bakugo. And I would say that, it's really good. People are all mad, but at the same time, they're kind of like, let's do this. Let's do this. And yeah, so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that when the da, 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 um hmm hmm I'm gonna say that what is it? I'm trying to think. I just can't think right now. When I would say Deku gets first in this. So in the race thing, so he gets first because he's using his wind, and people actually see that and they're really impressed. And I'd say that people are like, "Wow, this is actually really impressive. This kid's actually using quirk, um, his quirk, with the kite and just kind of like propelling himself towards everything." People are just amazed that such a person came up with such a unique idea, and he's going towards it pretty fast, and they kind of see that he kind of flies through the tunnel and out and into the championship, and they kind of just see him fly past so many things so close and tight, and everybody's just amazed by his skill in flying, because remember, he was weighed down by everyone else all those other times. So seeing him fly past everything, everybody's just amazed by his skill in flying. And I would say that he's just moving such fast that when he actually slows down, he slows down by collapsing it and doing a roll, and just kind of like rolls his whole body and kind of like makes it. And he does get a few bruises, and he is pretty sore, but nothing that can't be healed immediately. And I'm gonna say that yeah, he's all right, but he's just got a few bruises, and he's pretty sore. So he kind of just rests and waits for everybody else. And he kind of went just right over the mines. And everybody's just really impressed by how he could pretty much fly past everything. And a lot of heroes that can fly and all that are just kind of impressed that someone with such a weird quirk that like they don't even understand how it really works, but they look at like I would say they would have touchpads or something just to look at like iPads or whatever, that they can just kind of like look at what his quirk is, and it would be kind of like they would explain how it works and all that, and it's like a pool. And Aizawa would explain, not bandaged up or anything, or really too injured. I would say he would be kind of he would be kind of he'd be all right. He wouldn't be banged up. He would be. I would say he would have like a few bruises and just a few stitches and all that and bandages, but not too much. But I think Aizawa would explain that his quirk is to pull things towards him, and what he does is he uses his quirk to pull the air molecules towards him and kind of create a wind, a really powerful breeze that can kind of lift him off the ground. And using this, he's able to fly, but that's the fastest he's ever seen him fly. And that he thinks that if he were to ever become a pro hero, that he would be probably the fastest pro hero out there, and probably be extremely useful in every situation because of how well he could team up with everyone else. He's teamed up well with Bakugo and able to create teamed up well with the one who you'll see using explosions, and they've teamed up kind of creating a bomber plane kind of thing, like a bomber plane, like a plane and bomber combo, and it's worked out very well. The way you can use combos and team up with him is almost endless, because you can always add something with another person with Midoriya. And I think they're just really, really impressed that someone like him is like first placed, someone that has such a mobility-wise quirk. But at the same time, I'd say Aizawa explains that his quirk though is was only strengthened through such hard work and diligence, I would say, because he says it was weaker when he was younger, but after going going past his limits, he was able to go into new strengths. And he was also able to find out that he has a another quirk after working out. I would say he would say he has two quirks after training his body too. And I would say people are like kind of interested to see what that looks like. Don't worry, they will see it. And so yeah, they're kind of just like interested to see what happens. Like, so for the cavalry, I would say that Deku is going to be all the horses, but at the same time, they're kind of interested to see what he's going to do right now. And what he's going to do is this. He's going to launch himself in the air with his team. And his team is going to be with Bakugo, what is it? Bakugo, and I would say it would be Froppy and Momo. And that would be it. And I would say the tech girl would be somewhere else, really doing her own thing. And yeah, I'll say the tech girl as well. And I think that'd be it. Because Bakugo would be kind of like the bomber. No, I'm going to say Momo's not there. I'm going to say that Araka's with them instead. And so Araka would make the kite have like, they would have like zero grab on him, so that way he can move like he was before, if he was like, so he's agile. And the tech girl adds like thrusters on his like stabilizers, just like have him stabilize and kind of hover in the air, so he can use like his quirk to kind of like pull bands off other people's heads. And I'd say that's what they've been doing. And Froppy is using her tongue as a kind of way to push people down, so that way they can't get close. And Bakugo is just and if they do get close, they get exploded. So that's kind of like what they're doing, and they're in the air. And I would say that everyone else is kind of like impressed by this, because he's holding up so much weight, but at the same time, Araka's keeping everyone weightless. So it's such a perfect combo that they kind of they're kind of considered to be kind of overpowered. And I'd say Bakugo's like enjoying the fact that they're all weightless. They just don't like, there's no gravity on them, that they're just having such a perfect team, really. And I would say that that this whole team up is just perfect. And Bakugo, they're using the ladder like kind of like wrapped around them, and with Deku as well, so that way they don't like go anywhere. And they're just kind of like at the below. They're just on the ladder, really. And it's more reinforced too than it was before, so that way it can take a lot more of a beating. I would say there's like metal bars. So yeah, that's fun. And I'm gonna say that Deku, they kind of just win, really. They don't really take anyone's points. They just stay there for the whole time and watch over, and no one really can get to them. Like, the guy with the shadow quirk can't get to them. Everyone else they really can't get to him. And I would say that the guy with multiple arms and the shadow guy kind of work together instead of the small guy. I'm trying to remember his name, but I can't. So yeah, the pervert and the dude with 6 arms don't work together. Or is it like, I can't remember how many arms he had. Like, was it 9 arms? I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, they don't work together. But yeah, it's really interesting. And the whole time they're just working together in the air, just trying to hold their preparations and be ready. And I'm gonna say that that the person that has the bandana is also who is it? I would say it would be who would it be? I would say it'd be Araka that has the bandana, because she would be keeping everyone weightless. Sorry, they would keep everybody light. And yeah, So that pretty much be it for that whole cavalry. And no one will really try to get close to them because it would be impossible. It'd be such an impossible feat because they got such high defenses. And it's also because they're also very high up in the air and it's going to be hard to even reach them. Besides that, Deku's using his propulsion just to like kind of like keep him up in the air about like I would say 120 feet, and they're just about like he's at 120 and they're at a I would say let's see like probably 90 to 80 feet. The ladder's pretty long, so that's probably the reason why. And well, that's the reason why they're lower. And I'm gonna say that it can lower itself even more, and that's why. Yeah, so it's just really overpowered that he's doing this, and I'm gonna say that Deku is just keeping himself stabilized using like a certain jets really to stabilize them, and they're on the ladder, and it's yeah. And I'd say a lot of people are just like amazed by this kind of like how they're working together really, and it's perfect really. It's really a perfect setup. And I'm gonna say that the heroes that are outside guarding everything, they're like, wow, so that's the kid from that saved that other kid, and they're working together so well. And they're just like that guy. I would say with like the heroes that saw that are just like amazed that he's doing such a thing, and all the heroes inside they're just watching this. They're like, we really need to get this kid in the end as an intern. He's too good, and yeah, so they're really surprised by how his quirk works and how it's just such a useful type of quirk and how he's using it properly and how it's just amazing. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that Deku is just really impressed by he's just really holding on and just kinda like waiting, and when the timer runs out, yeah. I'd say they're all happy about the results, and I'd say for the next, the whole fighting with the brainwashing guy and all that, Deku kind of just like, he's seeing how he's pretty strong. He's kind of got a plan set up. He's gonna have the kite collapsed, and what he does is he's told that the guy is just going to, he's got some kind of weird brainwash kind of quirk or something, but from the guy with the tail. And so what Deku does is when the fight starts, he pulls him towards him and punches him in the face, knocking him out. And it's pretty quick, but at the same time, he took care of it. And I would say they barely even, before even questions could even start. And everyone else is just kind of like watching this, and they're like, that was quick. That was pretty damn quick. And I would say that next would be the whole fight with Todoroki, and I would say that it's just really interesting because no one this is gonna be a really fun fight, really. So let's get to the fun part, and I'm gonna say that Deku's kite, he's kind of made upgrades to it, like the material, to make it like flame proof, and cold proof, because he wants to make sure that no one can really hurt him too bad. And also lightning proof, so it's non-like conductive. He's really made it like a very useful kite, but at the same time, the thing can break from getting hit pretty hard. So he has to like make sure it doesn't get too much weight, like too much of a force pushed onto it. So it's kind of weak in the bars area, but on how the material is, yeah, it's non-conductive. So it's going to be pretty good. So it's got all this. Basically, he's good. He's got a almost like a rubber and cold and heat proof suit, because he saw how how he's going to be probably climbing up and like how high he can go. He's gonna need to make certain things happen, like make it warm, but not also resistance to the heat as well. So he's pretty set when it comes down to his suit. But also he's made the kite that as well, so it doesn't freeze if he gets too high or something, because he doesn't know how high he would need to go, so he's doing it early. So yeah. Let's see here. For For when he fights Todoroki, though, I'm gonna say that when it starts, he launches himself into the air all the way high up and kind of like drops, like he's like collapses the kite and drops down. And Todoroki's kind of like wondering what he's doing, and he does with one punch. Downward, he punches. No, I'm gonna say not his hands. I'm gonna say that it is his leg. He drops down, kicking, into the ground and completely destroys the arena, destroying it and launching Todoroki upwards and out of the ring and hitting on his bum. And they kind of just saw that he just did a aerial attack, but at the same time, Deku completely destroyed the stadium, and they just realized that this dude can do a bombing type as well, and he's a bomber as well. He's a bomber in a sense. And they're kind of like, every hero just kind of like was wondering what was that. And they kind of realized that he can increase his strength with his second quirk. And they realized that his second quirk is an increasing type of quirk. It can increase his strength, which makes them think when he went plus like beyond his limits, does that mean that his he already had a second quirk, that it was increasing his quirk already to do certain things? And they're just kind of wondering this, and they're like, okay, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe he already had a second quirk, and it just kind of awakened when he went beyond his limits. And they're kind of just like wondering this, and they're just thinking that he has such a powerful quirk. But at the same time, then they see that he broke his entire leg, but they see it's like, okay, it's a one-time use, but at the same time, yeah, this could work. This could definitely work. He's using a quirk that is so powerful, but at the same time so destructive. But it's only going to be one use, and it can very much change the playing field on how a fight can work. And he's got a very powerful set of skills that can be used, and they're just really amazed by this. And I'd say that they really like that he could become probably the best hero. And obviously Recovery Girl has to be called in because it's his leg, and he needs it to be in the whole thing. And I'm going to say that Todoroki is like pretty mad that he wasn't able to go like all out. And I would say that Deku talks to him and says, it's your quirk to use fire. If you use, you should really use your other side because it's your quirk, no one else's. And that kind of hits Todoroki. And he realizes it is his quirk. It's not his father's, it is his now. It's his own kind of quirk. And I'm going to say that when he gets to, what is it? I would say when he gets to where, like, the last fight with Bakugo, and I would say Bakugo would then, when he sees Deku limping with his leg, he immediately walks up to Deku and offers to shake his hand and says to him, I forfeit, because he knows that he is stronger than him, and if he really wanted to, he could use his other leg to take out this entire playing field again. And he knows he won't, but at the same time, he wants to keep this friendship alive. He doesn't want to fight his friend. So he forfeits. And that's when Deku is placed first place and Bakugo is placed second place. And he definitely likes that this is like how he thinks it should be. And he really saw himself push himself all out this time. And he's really enjoying, like, Bakugo's really enjoying this whole thing. And I'd say that Deku really has been pushing himself quite a lot. And seeing how this is the second time he's used his arm, I would say it's not that bad. But he's told to stop and really figure out a way to do this. And yeah, so, like, he's told to stop doing such destructive, like, power and focus on something else. And he's gonna. So, yeah, that's it. And next will be the internships in part 2 of this. I am going to probably be doing an announcement maybe after this video. Who knows? I don't know. I will be thinking about it. It is going to be changing the channel up a bit, but we'll see. Anyways, we'll see. Anyways, everyone have a good day and a good night. Peace out.